Hi guys, Samantha here and welcome back to my channel. In a speed build today, I have been on a doggone building a frenzy, so look forward to all these doggone videos that's gonna be coming out. But this particular video, I don't know, I don't even know how I got this idea, but I was kind of inspired by one of my, I guess I can go on and say this, one of my favorite video games, Catherine, by the company Atlas. And I've played this game on the channel, and I don't know, somehow I just got this idea that I kind of wanted a bar that was like Catherine from the game, and the bar is called the Stray Sheep, and it was pretty much like the main setting of the game besides the nightmares and stuff, but it was definitely like one of the main settings of the game because it was like where the main character Vincent hung out with his friends. He like talked about what was going on, just like life in general, and it's just like one of those places where you can be super comfortable. You go hang out, you talk about things that's going on in your life, and you know, it just so happened to be like, I don't want to give any spoilers, but it just so happened to be like a very pivotal place because it was also the center of where his problems and troubles began, but it also was his place where he found like solace in so many words, you know, if that makes any sense. It was where he found comfort, but then it was also where he had the most craziest stuff happen to him. But anyway, so I wanted to create something very similar, and I actually built a floor plan kind of like based off of my memory of what the bar looked like. But in the process of me doing that, I actually ran across a floor plan online that had the entire floor plan for the restaurant. And I was like, oh my gosh, or not for the bar, for the bar, I apologize. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to use the floor plan that I found online, and I'll show you guys that floor plan. And I was just like, this will work. So another thing that I wanted to do too is I kind of played around with making some custom content, because in the game they had a table and it actually had stray sheep on the table. So I ended up making some tables, and of course all the CC that I used, which honestly the only CC that I used in this particular build was CC that I created. I'm sure there's nothing else in this one, so I will have the links, the sim file share information in the description box. You can go grab it if you want to download this lot, which will be on the gallery and have all of the CC that goes with it. But the tables that you see right now, I ended up changing out those tables because I realized that I forgot to make smaller tables with the same wood as the ones that I used for the stray sheep tables, because those tables were just plain and blank, and for some reason on the floor plan they had it where it was just the one table, but just like a whole row of tables in between. It was just kind of weird. So anyway, I ended up having to go in because it was a lighter wood color with a darker trim, and we didn't have that in the game. I had to actually create it. So I ended up going in and making like a set to match the big set, and then that way I went back in and changed it. So when you download it from the gallery, it'll have the proper tables that's supposed to be in there. But anyway, so it's supposed to be a bar, but I kind of played with the idea that I wanted it to be a restaurant, because the only thing about doing a bar is that, you know, the Sims will probably like gather at the bar itself, and then if they want to order food or whatever, the bar is kind of limited and they can't really you know, get some of the food that we saw in the game, which was mostly like pizza. It was mostly like bar food. It was like pizza, like junk food, stuff like that. So I wanted to do it as a restaurant. And then there was a waitress that's in the game, and she walked around, and I actually made CC for her uniform, which it's not exactly like it, but it's close, but it's not exactly like it. But, you know, I feel like I did pretty good. So anyway, I ended up making CC for that as well. So long story short, that was pretty much like what I wanted to do in this thing, was make it like a bar. So, I mean, a restaurant, so that she could go and tend to them and bring them pizza, nachos and stuff like that. But it could still have like a very bar feel, you know, just kind of like open or whatever. And so one thing that you could probably realize just based on what I'm doing right now is there's like a lot of ups and downs of this bar. It's like as soon as you come in, it's like up on a platform, and then you kind of step down some steps, and then you go to the seating area, then you go up steps to go to the bar. So there was like all that up and down stuff. And one hint to kind of give you guys an idea of how to do this is definitely use your rooms, like make a room and then decide how do you want your lower level to be, like what size you want it to be and everything. And then once you build a room around it, you delete the floor. pretty easy. And so that's how I got that whole effect. But you have to kind of like plan out ahead of time. So if I were you, I would plan it out as much as possible and then delete the floor, because you don't want to be like me where you delete the floor and you're like, wait a minute, it's not big enough. And then you got to go back and pretty much undo everything and make the floor all over again. So that's pretty much how it got done. And of course, in order to make the roof, I ended up having to put like an extra little platform thingy at the top just to make the roof, because when I deleted the floor, it deleted the roof. So it's like one of those things where you kind of just like play around with it and you give it a go, you try it out and all that good stuff. But in the long run, everything comes out okay. But this, surprisingly, because I had a floor plan, which if you are into building and you love the concept of building, but you really can't figure out like how to build or what to build, floor plans are your friend. Like I found this program, which I'm gonna talk about that in the next speed build, because I made a floor plan for my my next speed build that you guys will see. And they're like I literally made the floor plan, and so when I went to go actually make the build that I was trying to make, it was so easy because everything was just like smack in my face. And I mean, set aside from like the number of blocks or squares that you need per room, but at least you have an idea of what it is you're doing. And for this, if I had to go off memory, y'all, it was going to take me it was going to take me a super long time, but thankfully it only took me like an hour, which is not bad. And also, if you get this particular, well, we'll talk about that when we get towards the end of the video, but it's a jukebox in this particular build, and there's specific music playing from it. So I was able to find the Catherine soundtrack, and I actually put it in my game, and I will show you guys how to do that towards the end of the video, how to add custom music, and also how to have it where it plays in your game only, because you could actually uncheck the music that you don't want to get played. So I put it under easy listening. So when I put the jukebox in there, when your Sims go, if you go with your Sims, you just have to click to easy listening if you do the same thing I did, and then it should play the music. So it's like the whole background of the bar was like the Catherine soundtrack. It was so cool. I love it, y'all. I love how it came out. So anyway, here I'm just kind of like playing around with the doors, trying to figure out what vibe I want to give it and all that good stuff. And then opening up, they had like a lot of open rooms and a lot of different little seating areas. So just trying to plan all that stuff out. And again, following the floor plan, I kind of just went and put some tables over there. And again, I changed out those tables, so you see them how they look right now. But in the final one, they're darker. And I like this little seating area over here with the little bench. And I have move objects on, so if you download it from the gallery, I would suggest you put move objects on as well, because I don't know what it's going to look like if you download it without move objects on. It's probably going to look a hot mess. So anyway, so here I am just trying to make sure that everything is copacetic so far. And I'm grabbing the jukebox. And the funny thing is, I actually, before I got in the game, I went and looked for jukebox custom content because I didn't think we had one in the game. And then as soon as I went to go try to look for the custom content, I found the jukebox. I was like, oh, we have a jukebox. So I thought that that was pretty cool. So the only thing I had a problem with in the game is probably like doing this bar. I just felt like it was way big and massive. And then I realized, oh, girl, you didn't even make it a bar. You just made it like an island countertop type thing. So I'll go in and I change out the bar in a second. And in the floor plan, there was not a kitchen, but it actually was a door leading to whatever. It was just a door. So I was like, what is that supposed to be back there? And I know in the game, the waitress would go back in the back room and come bring out food. So I'm assuming that that's where the kitchen's at. So I just added the kitchen back there because of course you're going to need it for the restaurant in order to function. So I did put a kitchen back there, but on the original floor plan, it was not there. So I don't know. It's one of those things. Anyway, so this is when I realized I'm changing the tables, because I realized I don't have the right tables in the game because I needed them to be the light wood color. But like I said, I went back in and changed them. But yeah, just for some reason the floor plan had like tables behind, like when you first come in. So I just stuck some menus and stuff on there, and so that way the hostess could actually give them what they, I guess, their little menu or whatever when they walk in. And one special thing about the bar is that it had a TV, and on the TV it like ran the news and stuff like that, because they were always watching the news and stuff when they were there. And that is where they saw a lot of things about the murders and stuff like that. So anyway, I did the same thing. I put a bar back there, and there was like all these bottles and stuff. And part of me was thinking about getting some custom content bottles, but then I changed my mind. So here's when I figured out that I didn't even have an actual bar. Like, crazy lucky me, right? So I was trying to toggle through to find the right bar. And the only thing I don't like about the bars in The Sims is that if you want to extend them for any reason with a countertop or whatever, it's really hard trying to find the countertops that match. It is like the most difficult thing. But I think the Margot, I think that's the Margot goes good with the bar. So it's like the top and everything fits like how it's supposed to fit. So then I just wanted to change it out for this bar. And trying to like play around with the colors, trying to see which one I wanted to get. Because really, I can't remember in the game. I want to say everything was just kind of dark in the bar. But, you know, when you're dealing with working with sim stuff, you just kind of got to work with what you got and just go from there. So that is pretty much what I did. Pretty much what I did. So anyway, I'm trying to find some bar stools. I really wanted to use the custom content bar stools, but I was like, no. So I ended up going for, they have like a little rounded seat with like a little rounded back. And I think these come from bowling stuff, but I ended up changing them out because I think the ones that they ended up using were like red. So I ended up changing them out, but I just changed out the swatches or the colors. And then there's only one bathroom because in my original floor plan that I created for this lot, I put like a row of bathrooms, like a male and female bathroom. But with the floor plan that I was given, there was only one bathroom. And really, truly in the game, there was only one bathroom. So I went on and just left it where there's only one bathroom. So I have no idea how your Sims are going to act when they actually go in there. So anyway, here I am changing out the steps because I realized I needed to use wood flooring, and I just felt like the wood steps would look a little bit nicer. And then I went on and added the same wood steps to the front. So I will be honest with you guys, when it comes to the outside of this lot, I have no clue what it's supposed to look like because every time we saw the bar scene, it was inside the bar. So I don't know what it looks like on the inside. I mean, on the outside, I apologize. So, you know, the outside is a little bit, it's different. Let's just put it that way. So hopefully it looks okay. But honestly, when it got to me going to the outside, I really didn't know what to do. So there's a microwave on the bar for whatever reason when you look at pictures and stuff of the game. But if you guys are familiar with it already, you kind of already know like what's going on with that. But like I said, it was a fairly easy build and it wasn't that difficult to do with all the stuff. So I really liked how it came out. But there's an arcade machine too that I put in there. But the only problem is it's kind of loud. So when you play your music, if you do the same thing with the custom music like I did, I would suggest you put it like loud. You know how you can change the volume on the stereo system? Just put it loud where it's actually loud as opposed to just like regular so that you can hear it a little bit better. So anyway, so I think here I am just trying to like do some little last minute stuff. I realized because I kept going back and forth looking at screenshots from the game. I realized that they had condiments on the table. So I figured out a way where if you can lock the condiments into place, you could put that little napkin holder on the side. So I did that. I think it came out really cool because that's kind of like how it looks in the game with like a little napkin holder on the side of the ketchup and stuff. Of course, it's a little bit messier when you do it in the game. So, but I think it came out really good. So anyway, here I am because I could not figure out for the life of me what the wallpaper looked like. It had like some ornate details and stuff on it, and it had like a red look to it, and we really don't have like that in the game. But I ended up finding something that to me it looked really good with it, so I just went on and went with it. But yeah, I just kept if you see me pausing like with the build, is because I'm looking on screenshots because I saved like a ton of screenshots when I was planning to make this build because I didn't know like how I wanted it to look. So and then the other thing too, you got to think about too, when you drop your floor or your ground level like that, whatever foundation color or, you know, whatever style you put on the outside, it will be on the inside as well. So it's probably good to kind of like really plan out how you want your foundation to look on the outside because you don't want anything that looks chunky or weird. So I opted for just like a flat, like paneling type thing, just so I can have something be, you know, just flat up against it as opposed to just like having like stone or whatever in there, if that makes any sense. But one thing is going to be cool is like if you guys have been watching the Twitch live streams that the Sims team have been giving, we're going to have terrain tools pretty soon. So I am looking forward to having like being able to build up the terrain a little bit so you won't see the foundation because some of the foundations are just not very attractive to me. So most of the times if I use a foundation like what I did on this one, I'll just put like trees and plants around it to kind of like hide it and disguise it. But for the most part, I'm just like, I'm not a fan of this one, but I really used it because I needed it for the inside, for the interior. So anyway, so that's pretty much like the reason why I did what I did there, and just trying to like finish up everything on the inside. And for some reason, every time I hit shift, it would like change out like everything. And it's like, no, I just need you to change out the inside. So me and that doggone paint struggled for real. But anyway, so I'm doing the kitchen right now, just kind of like finalizing everything and I was thinking about putting some windows on the outside. But again, since I had never seen the outside of the bar, I was torn about it. I was like, I don't think I want windows in here. It's a very dark bar, not like dark like negative, but just like the atmosphere was just really dark. So I don't know that it had windows. I just remember when you were playing there, you would just be fixated on your friends and the surrounding and the music and, you know, just the food or whatever. I don't remember if it had windows, like, to be honest with you guys. So I was kind of torn about putting windows on there. But if you guys download it and you see that you want to do something else with it, you know, feel free. And the same thing with the roof. When it comes to doing retail places or like community lots, I never know how to do the roof. Part of me wants to do like half walls and the other part of me wants to do like actual roofs. So this time I wanted to do an actual roof, but I don't know if that's like really what I wanted it to look like, if that makes any sense. But I was kind of like, I think I want to do like an actual roof. And then after I spent all the time like trying to line up the roof and get all the different levels and stuff, I didn't feel like playing around with anything else to make it look any different. So surprisingly, I am in love with the inside of this building, but the outside, I'm just kind of like, I could have probably did a little bit better. But again, I'm going off inspiration for the game, for the item in the game, and I don't know. I honestly don't know what it looks like. The outside, I don't, and it's funny, I've been thinking about playing it again, and I might, because I kind of want to do it on the harder level, which is insane, right? Because I think I did it on easy. I started it off on normal and then I changed it out and did it on easy. And I remember just being like, every time I was playing it, like, oh my God, this is on easy. This is on easy. Like, can you imagine? This is on easy. So, but I kind of want to go back and just do it normal now that I got a hang of it and everything, and I know what everything is. So anyway, so here I am just putting some paintings and stuff on the inside. These are all paintings that I created, like this custom content that I created for the lot. And it's just different little paintings kind of representing the game. Because like I said, even though in the bar, like in the actual bar in the game, there's not paintings of Catherine or Vincent or the other Catherine on the wall. I just feel like it'd be kind of cool because this is like a tribute. This is like inspired by, I thought it'd be cool to kind of put like the paintings and stuff on the wall. I wanted to make like so many more, but it was so hard for me to find good game pictures, like good pictures of the characters in game. A lot of them were like screen grabs. Or it'd be like the cover of the game, which is, I end up using one of them from the cover of the game. But a lot of them were just like screen grabs and stuff like that. So anyway, here I am just like putting plants and stuff around, just to kind of like fix everything up. And there's no plants that I remember that's in the game, but part of me just didn't want to just not have plants in it. I know that makes so much sense. Anyway, so I'm taking screenshots, adding some more lights. And that's another thing, I don't remember if it had like round lights or drop lights or whatever. So I ended up just using like the regular saucer lights and doing it like that. But honestly, if you were to use this lot, and if you do it like an ownable restaurant, if I were you guys, I probably would have the lights be way dim. And then maybe even change the coloring of the lights. Like maybe do like a, I don't know if I know there's like a yellow, but maybe do something like that. Because I don't know, I just remember the bar being super dark. And when I play tested it, it was really bright, which was fine. But, you know, for the vibe that was in the game for the bar slash restaurant, we gonna call it a restaurant, it was dark a lot of the time. So anyway, doing some lot traits. I had it like a party place. It was Connival because that's where you go hang with your friends. And also I forgot the last one I put, but now we're going into Create a Sim because I ended up making custom waitress uniforms. Now granted, if a guy ends up being hired by chance in this lot, they're going to have like a regular uniform. You might want to go in and change it, but I didn't make a uniform for the guys because my plan was to have it be a ladies uniform. And this particular uniform, she wears like a yellow dress. It's kind of like a plunging neckline and it has like red accents on it. So I tried to recreate that situation with this particular dress, and I recolored it. It's not exactly like the game, but it's inspired by the game. The one that I really wanted to use, I downloaded it, y'all, and tried to put it in my game so I could see what it looked like. It ended up being a Sims 3 item, and I was so disappointed because I literally said Sims 4, and it took me to a website, and it was new. It was like 2016 or 17, which to me is like, I just automatically assumed it'd be Sims 4, but clearly people are still making Sims 3 custom content in 2017-18, so you just can't go off of. And it was a .package file because I thought Sims 3 was like .sims 3 or something like that, but it was actually a .package file. So I was surprised when I put it in my game and it crashed and it was like, this, you know, you can't use it. And I was like, well, what? And then I went back to go read it and I saw the hashtags and it said hashtag Sims 3, even though like on the write-up they never even said what version of the game it was for. So anyway, it was pretty much spot on what her uniform looked like in the game, except it was Sims 3. And it had the right hair thing for her, the hat thingy, the little headband thingy, and the right apron was kind of like ruffly on the edges, which is what the character looks like in the game. So I was just a little disappointed that this was the only one that I could find that was similar, but not very. So of course, again, inspired by, sorry, I'm just making the bar, the menu, and I tried to do like bar food, like, I don't know, cookies and cupcakes and like hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff like that, just like real bar food. I tried to do that, and of course we named it the Stray Sheep, and I was going to call it restaurant and bar, but I ended up saying the Stray Sheep. And then for the host outfits, I did the exact same thing that I did for the waitress, because in the game, the lady that sat you and checked on you and did everything, it was one character, y'all. She did everything, and she pretty much wore that outfit. So I was like, I might as well make the hostess be the same uniform. I mean, like, why not? I think I didn't put the hat on her head. That was pretty much it. And then I just went through and just added the guys. But thankfully, when I play tested it, y'all, it was only one guy that worked a lot, and he was the chef. The people that was on the floor were all ladies. So I was like, yes. So I could see it in action. And it's a cute set in game. It's not anything that I'd probably use unless I'm playing this particular bar, like if I'm putting it in my game. But, you know, it's a cute set. So anyway, here I'm trying to dress up the outside, and it's just so bland, y'all. I'm not happy with the way the outside looks, but the inside is absolutely stunning. I love it. And you guys can see at the end some of the screenshots and stuff. And also I have some footage of the game having the music in it, and I will show you guys how to put music and stuff in your game. I'm sure there's videos out there on how to do it, but I'll show you anyway. And so here I'm just trying to put like a little fencing area out there so that if you want to go put the trash out, you can have it be fenced in or gated or whatever. And so that is pretty much it. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I put some lights out there so I can make sure there's enough lighting and stuff out there. And I probably could have put trees on the entire thing on the back, but I didn't. But it does fit on a 30 by 20 lot. And so here goes some of these screenshots, and you guys can kind of see like the inside. Again, it was probably a little bit too bright for my liking, but you know, it is what it is. And this chair is back here. I don't know if the Sims could actually use it because I didn't see any when I play tested it, but I'll have to try it again later. But anyway, that's it pretty much for this speed build. I'm going to show you guys how to put custom music into your game, and also how to make sure it's enabled in your game options. But if you guys have any comments or questions, please feel free to let me know down in the comment box, as well as check the description box for the custom content that I used for this, which was primarily the custom content that I created, like this table right here. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. All right, guys, before I let you go, I want to let you know how to put custom music in your game. So, of course, you're going to want to be in your electronic arts folder. You're going to click Sims 4, and then you're going to go to custom music. Here it has all of the stations that are currently inside the game. So we got alternative, backyard, Baroque, whatever. And so for this particular, I end up putting it under easy listening because I felt like it's easy listening. And I have two mixes right here. They both are very long, so it's like you won't be running out of music anytime soon. So you basically drag and drop those into there, and make sure that they're MP3 files, because that's the only ones that are able to play in the game. And let me show you how to enable it in the game. So when you're in game, you're going to want to make sure you click game options, and then there's this thing that's called music over here. And if you put it under easy listening, like how I did, you can uncheck the songs that you don't want to be played. So I basically just put the Stray Sheep Catherine music right here. I just added the other one, so I need to go and restart my game so I can put it in here. And then you'll just check box all of those, and that's for any of the music. If there's just like something that you really enjoy, but something else that you don't, you could just uncheck the ones that you don't want to be played. So easy listening, and there's normally like this many. I just kept Stray Sheep going, and make sure you want to apply your changes. And then when you get in game, and that is pretty much how you do it. You can have the music and stuff playing in your game. And so for this particular lot, I thought it'd be totally awesome because it is a Catherine inspired build. So I don't even know. Okay, there's one of the waitresses. You guys can kind of see she's in the uniform and stuff. And there are some Sims sitting back here eating and stuff right now. But I just don't know if they could sit at this table. I feel like they wouldn't be able to. Okay, so we can't sit at the table because it's not technically ours. But I don't know if they'll be able to actually sit there. But there's definitely some Sims here. You can see them go. Okay, so there is a wait. Is this a waiter? Okay, so there is a waiter. Oh, he's saying he can't get to the table. Okay, so you probably will have to change those tables out over there and just not use the tables in front. But that's okay. She'll probably seat them somewhere else. And you guys will kind of get a look at these stray cheap tables. I love how these came out. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode like I said. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Wegrin.
Oh!
Yipsy.
And in other news, we have more on the recent string of unexplained deaths that seem to be exclusively involving young men. Cause of death is unknown, and while police are investigating
Burba.
Gorba.
Benar, please.
Ooh. Oh, Whipney, Durfka.